Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over my Arakni list for the heavy hitters meta. We had a really fun stream yesterday. You should definitely go check it out in the VODs of the channel, where we played Arakni all day. And we ended up actually going like 14-0 in Talishar games. Just fun Talishar games on the list. But it prompted me to make the video because I haven't made a video on what my heavy hitters list looks like. Super excited. I'm going to put this in the How to Arakni series. So if you're watching the How to Arakni series, hopefully this is an updated list for you. And yeah, we'll get right into it. But if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Feel free to check out my other videos. Also, feel free to check out the Discord and the channel membership down below. I'm trying to start basically doing content full time in the interim and trying to make that work. Be doing streams nearly every day for the most part and daily videos. So if you like the content, feel free to support. Everything you put into the channel gets put right back into it, whether it's at events or product giveaways, stuff like that. If you're a long-standing supporter, thank you so much as always, and we'll get right into it. So Arakni is a very fun hero that got a new card in the heavy hitter set. Arguably probably the most powerful expansion card in the set, in my opinion. And it allows Arakni to have some pretty fun, on a high level, pop-off turns, right? Coercive tendency, where you're able to deal 12 to 15 damage with multiple on hits, like Leave No Witnesses, Already Dead, Surgical Extraction, things of that nature. What it also does, though, is allows you to target banish things. It allows you to get silver more consistently and really just kind of control the game even more from a fatigue perspective, fatigue by threat. So going into it, I wanted to try to do a list that was similar to what my old one was. I'm going to bring it up here. And I didn't change too much. I've seen a lot of Arachnis trying to do like a bunch of 0-for-4s in order to get the most value off like a coercive tendency pop-off turn. But for me, as you saw yesterday, it's just Talishar games just for fun. But you see this large green bar over here. This is actually today, as the time I'm recording this, where we ended up going 16-0 on the list. We ended up playing, I think we started the stream, we played 2 KOs, 2 Kasais, a Bolton, a couple of Vincets, another Kasai, and Olympia. So really a lot of Warrior, honestly. But that's neither here nor there. It just got me really excited to make the video. And the list hasn't changed a ton, right? So you still have the normal equipment suite, right? We're still running Mask Compare Edition. We're still running Tunic. Black Tech Whispers, that hasn't changed. Nerve Scalpel and Spider's Bite as the primary daggers of choice. Couple notes. One is Flick Knives. Flick Knives is now a mainstay in the list. I was playing around with Shriek Razors in the aggro matchups. That way you had a guaranteed block but could still use the effect. However, since we now included my spoiler card, Graven Call, which I'll talk about that here in a second, we basically have to run Flick Knives. It has to be ran. So that's kind of how that goes. When it comes to other equipment, we'll talk about the sideboard here real fast. I end up putting Balance of Justice in the sideboard, and it has actually been working out very well for me. A lot of Brute coming around with Blood Rush Bellows, a lot of Art of Wars in the meta right now. A lot of heroes that just want to draw 2 cards. KO, all 3 Brutes, both Ninjas, and there's even other, like Kasai can draw 2 cards. Anybody that runs Cash-In, anyone that cares about gold. So it's been really good into those matchups. And also the 2 block is really nice for breakpoints. The other sideboard equipment, Skill Peeler, amazing into Guardian and especially Warrior. Anybody that's running Valiant Dynamo absolutely hates this card. And then 1 AB. We're not really teching for Kano. Kano is really rough anyway, and I'm just if I run into a Kano, I run into a Kano. The next biggest one is Graven Call. So when I first spoiled this card, I was really I love the card, first off. The artwork, the thematics, everything about it is just, it's sick, right? But as far as competitive viability, I was like, oh, okay, this can be really good and useful into like a meta maybe that has a lot of illusionists, like a lot of ward, right? Or a lot of preventative damage, because you could flick this and then buy it back, flick it, buy it back. So you could, pop the ward without getting punished because you can get your dagger back. And that's really all I put it out to be. But this card has actually been extremely useful in matchups that just want to fatigue you and just really, don't care as much about your dagger on hits. They're just trying to, block anyway. This has been really good to just get incremental damage time over time. You never want to block this card if they know that you're then going to go into a Spider's Bite. Usually they'll let it hit, and if you can generate enough silver, you're able to flick it away, potentially dealing like 3 damage over a turn, then bring it back, attack for 2, flick it away, bring it back. And in certain matchups, like that becomes very useful. It also can even work in the aggro matchups when you're generating a lot of silver because they're not blocking, and you have extra silver to play with. It's really good for that as well. So that's kind of where I'm at with the equipment. When it comes to the main board, we're running a clean 60. Nothing crazy here. So we put Lightning Strike back on the list. I do not have Death Touch in the list. I guess that's an inclusion that a lot of Arachnis run. A one of. I just don't enjoy it. It's a 2-block. It's very situational. You don't always, normally when I go get something out of Codex, I want to play Leave No Witnesses or Command and Conquer. And if not, I'm just going to play Rob the Rich or Annihilate the Armed, because in my eyes, Rob the Rich and Annihilate the Armed are more impactful sometimes than even Death Touch, because they actually have an on-hit of getting rid of a card, which, in my opinion, is worth more than maybe a Frailty or a Blood Rot. That's just how I look at it. So, no Death Touch in the list. We are running the Cut to the Chase is really nice. Lightning Strike, Fate Foreseen, all the normal stuff. The big key points here are we're running 6 of Annihilate the Arm and Rob the Rich. I think these have, in the current meta, the way the meta is set up, I think Annihilate the Arm is the obvious one. A lot of decks are running attack actions. Rob the Rich has became increasingly more consistent for silver generation because Brutes, it has a high chance of hitting. Guardian, it has a high chance of making silver. Even in a Warrior, some of the Warrior, like Nourishing Emptiness and stuff, very low chance you get to that. But even in the matchups where it normally would never work, it's working, right? So I think running that is really important. I ended up changing my blue Plunder the Poors and blue Slay the Scholars for blue Annihilate the Armed and blue Rob the Rich. The reason I did that was a couple reasons. One, silver generation, they're a little bit better. They hit a weird break point off Spider Bite. Being able to pitch, play Spider's Bite, and then use your 1 resource floating for a 3-power attack. It's actually really good because a 3-block attack action now no longer works to block it out. Whereas if it's a Plunder the Poor, they still can block it out. And it also helps kill 3-power dragons. And it helps kill sellswords. So, all that to be said, it's really nice. Ended up doing that. We're running 2 of Sigils. I want to run a 3 of, but right now I'm running this Plague High, which I'll talk about here in a second. 2 Sigils, Sink Below, Slay of Scholars. All these are pretty standard. Eradicate, which is exceedingly better now in this meta. It's already a powerful card, but a lot more decks care about yellows now that we have a lot more Brutes. And a lot more Warrior and Kasai and Bolton. So this card is getting, the silver generation is getting a lot better for this card. Running 6 of Shreds. Normally these might be Cut to the Chases, a blue or Concealed Blade, but a lot of decks want to block you now. So I like the -2 over the +1. That's just kind of where I'm at right now. And then Surgical Extraction into Course of Tendency. Just really good power cards. Course of Tendency is nuts. I'm going to do a playback of a gameplay on stream I had and show it off and talk through the game where I think I had good Course of Tendency turns. Try to remember what the best one was for that. I think it was that Kasai matchup is the one I'm going to end up doing. That one was really good. And then Plague Hive. I'm running this like 50% for purpose, 50% because it's Arakni, and I love this card, and I love the thematics. Arakni, being able to pitch this into like late game is super useful. Like they get hit with a Blood Rot Pox or get hit with like a Frailty token or something of the like. It really allows you to put a lot of pressure on your opponent and get a lot of value out of it. But the no block can be a little bit sus. In heavy aggro matchups, I take it out. It's not a big deal. I'll make a full sideboard guide for this eventually this week. So if you're watching this like the day it comes out, the sideboard guide might not be in here, but pin it and over the week I will make it. Then we have a sideboard. So we went over the equipment. Race Face is just really good into a lot of heroes in the meta right now. Like if we just go to meta results just so I can see the heroes like on face, right? The heroes where it matters are Race Face. So right, you're just basically, it matters because you're taking the class or talent out of the name of the card. It's really good into Bravo because he now can't dominate a Guardian attack or Seismic Surge doesn't work on Guardian because it doesn't see Guardian. Obviously, it just absolutely obliterates Mechanologist. It's even good into Warriors now because they have a lot of cards now that say target Warrior attack. And if it's not Warrior anymore, like it matters, it just blanks Dromai. It affects Fi's ability to have Draconic Chain Links. It affects Kasai. It can even affect Katsu in some very niche situations with Ancestral Empowerment. It really hurts Blood Rush Bellow turns for Brute. It even hurts like target illusionist attack for Prism, and it's also a popper. And it works for, as you can see, like it works for a lot of different heroes. So really, really good for this. And then Humble, I'm really enjoying because for the same reason, turning off Bolton's ability, turning off Prism's ability, turning off, Levia being able to turn off Blood Debt, turning off ability to Katsu trigger, or Dromai to give stuff go again, whatever the case may be. Humble has just been a all-star into so many decks. Even turn off the ability for Bravo to dominate. Then we have 2 shreds because a lot of decks in this format like to block. There's a lot of nasty, gross fatigue decks walking around already. So we're trying to combat that a little bit. And then finally unmovables because there's a lot of Guardian right now. But overall, like the clickbait thumbnail is just to have some fun. It's really just casual Talishar games right now. But it's been doing well. So, I mean, the Kasai games have been super fun. Played a bunch of talented Kasai, so super excited to see where this goes. I'm going to play it on my Armory on Monday. I'll give you an update on that. I'm going to try to stream one game. Not stream, but record one game on my Armory if I can. If not, it's no big deal. But if you're watching this in the How to Arakni series, next video in the series, we'll do a gameplay review, talk about what we did right, what we did wrong. I think I also have a budget Arakni list I might bring out as well if I haven't already. But yeah, hopefully you like this type of content. If you did, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free, again, to check out the channel membership down below. Really helps me out as I'm trying this full-time content deal, trying to give you all really good stuff. And yeah, I appreciate y'all so much. But if not, it's totally fine. Go to another Flesh and Mud creator, leave a like, comment, subscribe on their stuff so we can get more people seeing this game. There's a lot of creators out there. I need to make that creator video this week about just like showcasing creators. But thank y'all so much. Y'all stay safe, and I'll see y'all next time on TCG Talk.